Hello and welcome to the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Darshan Mehta. Good morning, Agam.
Good morning, Darshan. I'm Agam Akhil. Here are the headlines. Indian markets open flat with the Nifty below 10,750. Nifty Bank gains marginally ahead of the weekly expiry today. Fresh shorts build up in Chennai Petro. Open interest surges more than 90% after traders take fresh short positions in its futures. The government will infuse over 48,000 crore rupees in 12 state-owned banks to ensure they remain well capitalized. This will help Allahabad Bank and Corporation Bank come out of the PCA framework. And the Federal Reserve policy makers expect to stop the balance sheet unwinding in 2019, but the FOMC minutes suggest they are not inclined to cut interest rates.
Okay, it's absolutely flat as far as the market is concerned. The Nifty is down 2 points at this point of time. So no traction happening. Even the bank Nifty is absolutely flat. So let's pull that up and see what's going on. What's the open interest build up? If you're looking at the Nifty, the open interest build up is 1.5%. The last time I checked, it's down almost 3%. And the pull up the bank Nifty, what's happening there? And we can see the Nifty Bank is also seeing some bit of traction today. So if you pull up the Nifty Bank, open interest is down 3%, it's up 0.3%. So that's the traction that we're seeing. Where are positions being taken again? If you look at the monthly series again, from 10,700 to 11,000, it's the call writers that are active and put writers are active from 10,700 to lower level. So the fight right now is between the 10,700 and 10,800 mark in trade. As far as change in open interest is concerned, you can clearly see it's the call writers that are active in trade, since the market is looking a little wobbly at 10,800 and 10,900. That's where they are writing. Just to highlight, today is also the weekly expiry for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, and it seems that there will be almost a lot of resistance that will come in at the 10,800 mark. So almost 29 lakh shares have been written on the weekly series as of now. So there is traction that's happening on that end. That's on the index. Agam, anything on the stock side?
Yes, actually, well, even though the indices are flat, there are a handful of stocks out there which are actually seeing surge in OI. So let's pull that list up and take a look at where we have seen that movement coming through. Chennai Petro, of course, is one of them. Just Dial is the other one, which, of course, we're also seeing Apollo Hospitals with some amount of traction, about 9% increase there coming through. And we also have Amara Raja Batteries. Well, it remains flat, but there is 7% increase in OI. Mindtree is the other one, which is also seeing some amount of traction. In terms of unwinding, against stocks which are looking at a significant decline is GSW Steel, and of course do remember it's trending tentatively, but we do have Moody's ratings agencies turn, well, its outlook as to positive from stable, so that's a positive, of course. Britannia, Asian Paints, Oil India and Kaveri Seed Company are looking at traction. Kaveri Seed Company looking at unwinding. Do remember that one did move into the F&O ban, and it is an F&O ban today. But should we see a considerable unwinding in its futures, there's a possibility it may move out of the F&O ban. But these are just some of the stocks which are in focus today, Darshan.
Okay, let's take a look at which are the stocks that we would want to highlight in the show today. Page Industries, that's the big one, but it's been down significantly. Today has managed to rebound post the Goldman Sachs upgrade that came in. They believe that valuations and growth are now in tandem on the same page. So they are bullish on Page Industries. Whether it moves up or no is anyone's guess. Mindtree is another counter which is seeing traction. And again, two high beta names we'll talk about. Just Dial has been doing well for itself over the past few days, and Jubilant Foodworks yesterday corrected significantly on an anticipation of a block deal. Whether that will happen or no is anyone's guess, but today it has managed to rebound. What's the traction? That's something that we'll ask our guest. So, but before we get our guest on the show, here's a reminder: if you have any queries regarding the futures and option market, call us on 02245404141 or write to us on Twitter, Facebook with the AskBQ hashtag.
All right, and on that note, let's get in our experts for the day. We have Gaurav Bissa of LKP Securities and Aditya Agarwal of Way to Wealth Securities now joining us on the show. Good morning and thanks for joining us, both of you. Gaurav, I'm going to begin with you. After 8 straight days of losses, a day of gains, and now some consolidation, where does the Nifty go from here?
Good morning. It is a good pattern. We saw a bounce back coming from the crucial support area of 10,600 on the spot side. We saw a strong bounce back towards 10,740 odd levels, and now we are seeing some amount of consolidation. It's a good pattern that we are seeing some amount of cooling off coming in, and similar is the case with Bank Nifty as well, though it is still outperforming Nifty index. The road ahead, Nifty will now find a strong support at area of 10,680, 10,700 spot side, where it has been struggling to cross, and on the upside 10,820, 10,850 is where the immediate hurdle is now seen. So for me, Nifty is a buy on dips candidate, and a dip towards 10,700 can be bought, stop loss of 10,670, and on the upside 10,820, 840 is the likely outcome. For Bank Nifty, 27,000 is a very strong resistance stage. It's trading above those levels. So if 27,000 spot level is sustained, another 100 points, 150 points of move cannot be ruled out in the Bank Nifty.
All right. Aditya, good morning to you as well. What about you? How are you viewing trade on the indices now?
Morning. Well, if we see Nifty, then Nifty is looking extremely range bound from these levels. Also means last couple of days we have seen a good sell-off, and from lower levels we have seen a good pullback in yesterday's trade. But I don't think that Nifty is going to sustain above 10,800 levels. There's still a lot of call lighting is there in weekly as well as monthly options. So if it means I'm expecting that Nifty can test 10,780, 800 levels, but around those levels that will be a good time where one should book profit in their trading long positions. But if one is looking for 1 or 2 trading sessions, then yes, from these levels we can see some short covering pullback, and yesterday's pullback can continue, and Nifty can test 10,780, 800 levels in today's session or probably by tomorrow. So we are advising our clients to buy today's expiry 10,700 call option at 80, and on lower side one can keep a stop loss of 28. And similarly we see Bank Nifty also. Bank Nifty is outperforming Nifty for last few trading sessions, but right now Bank Nifty is again trading near this resistance zone of 27,100, 27,150 levels, and from those levels we can see some bout of profit booking in Bank Nifty also. And if we see Bank Nifty constituents, then HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank, Kotak Bank, all these 3 banking counters are not performing, and we are seeing some selling pressure at higher levels. So if Bank Nifty breaks 27,150, then we can see some good pullback. In that scenario, Bank Nifty can test 27,400, 27,600 levels. But at current levels, I won't be taking any buy or sell recommendation in Bank Nifty. And if it breaks 27,150, then I would like to go long in Bank Nifty.
Gaurav, what's your view on the Nifty Bank? I believe that strategy is something that you need to tell us.
Yes, as I mentioned, 27,000 strike call option on the weekly side had seen good amount of fighting in last few trading sessions, and now it's trading comfortably over these levels. So if 27,000 spot levels were to be held for next couple of hours, and there's a chance that it may try to retest levels of 27,150, 27,180. So on that premise, one can buy a 27,000 call option coding at 35, keep a stop loss of 15 on the upside. 60, 65 is what I would be looking out for. This is a weekly expiry, the one that expires today.
Okay, stock specific, Gaurav, what do you like?
If you look at the stock specific recommendation, the first recommendation would be on Tech Mahindra. We saw strong long positions getting built, and it witnessed a strong up move. It then consolidated between 780, 810. It's now again given a breakout on hourly charts as well. Decent longs are seen getting built for target of 840. One can buy it for target with a stop loss of 808. Strides Pharma, Strides Sashun is another name that is looking quite interesting. It's finding good supports at area of 400. From those levels, minor longs were also seen getting built with a stop of 402. One can buy it for target price of 425 to 430. If 430 is sustained, we can expect a position target of 450 also.
We must remember that Tech Mahindra will announce its decision on the buyback, which the board is going to take up today at some point in time of the day. And of course, as Gaurav has already mentioned, it is on the rise. We're seeing some amount of traction there too, as far as Tech Mahindra is concerned. We'll keep an eye on that one. And of course, it will be focused in today's job trade as well as tomorrow. But Aditya, how about you? You also have 2 long calls this morning.
Well, yes, means I have one call will be in buy in the Grasim. Means if we see Grasim, then the stock is trading in a very narrow band for the last couple of days. On lower side, 700 is a strong support zone, and from those levels, its stock has seen a good pullback. I'm expecting that this pullback may continue. On higher side, stock may test 765, 770 levels. So I'm recommending to buy 740 call options. On any decline, one can buy around 14 to 15 rupees range with a target of 25 and stop loss of 8. Another call will be in Jubilant Foods. Means if we see Jubilant Foods also after a good rally, stock is trading trading in a band now. On the lower side, 1280, 1270 is the support levels. On higher side, 1350, 1360 is the resistance zone. And again, from today from lower levels from its support zone, stock has seen a good pullback. We have seen an open interest build up of 5%, which is on long side. So I'm expecting stock may again retest 1350, 1360 levels. So I'm recommending to buy 1320 call option at current levels with target of 42 and stop loss of 19.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the strategies. Let's take some of the stocks that we have highlighted today. Page Industries. Now that's very interesting. It's corrected significantly. Today has managed to bounce back, but not significantly. The reason is a Goldman Sachs upgrade that has come in. Whether this will sustain or no is anyone's guess. It's what the OI shows is that it's short covering that's happening. Aditya, Page Industries at 21,050. What's your call? Should anyone buy this? Have the charts or the OI positions on F&O indicating that the trend has reversed?
Well, if we see broader view, then the broader view for the stock is negative. The stock is already corrected from 37,000 to 21,000 levels. But around 20,000 levels, stock has a very strong support zone. And from those levels, we have seen a pullback in today's trading session. And we are seeing some decent short covering. So overall, from these levels, risk reward ratio is in favor of buyers. One can initiate long positions at current levels, keeping a stop loss below 20,000. On higher side, 24,500, 25,000 are the levels which we can test in next few trading weeks. Yes, from current levels, risk reward ratio in favor of buyers, so one can initiate long position in Page Industries at current levels with a stop loss below 20,000.
Right. From that, we move on to the IT sector, Mindtree specifically in this case. Let's take a look at how Mindtree has done over the past 1 month or so and see what kind of trends are developing here, because we are looking at some amount of traction in today's day of trade. Of course, we're also keeping an eye on okay, so that's your increase in OI by as much as 6%. It's down by around 0.5% today, but there isn't too much to speak for there. And in terms of technicals, what we're actually also looking at is, all right, I'm just going to pull up my technical sheet. And okay, so what we're actually looking at is it's flirting with its 150 daily moving average, but it is below its 200 daily moving average. So that again is something that could be spoken about. We're not seeing too much in terms of volumes in today's trade, but Gaurav, how are you seeing trade develop here on Mindtree, and what would your suggestion be?
Well, if you talk about Mindtree, it has a very strong hurdle at levels of 910, and we have seen last couple of occasions reversals coming easily from these levels. So for me, the safer bet would be you buy about 910, keep a stop loss of maybe 898, 896 on the upside. Targets of 935, 940 can be expected.
Okay, the next stock that we want to talk about includes Jubilant FoodWorks. Now, that counter was down 3% in trade yesterday. Chatter of a possible block deal that could happen, that's not come in, so that counter has managed to rebound. Again, about the 1300 level. Gaurav, Jubilant FoodWorks, what should one do? Is it looking like this pullback will continue?
If you ask me, the pullback, yes, there's a good chance that the pullback may continue and we may see some more upside, but it's going to be quite limited. There's a strong resistance at area of 1345, 1350, and above that would be the breakout area. So for me, one can use dips, one can use declines to add fresh long positions, but at the current price, if somebody has bought, keep on holding, we can see a decent bounce in a day or two, but fresh resistance at low levels.
Okay. Well, on that note, let's move on and talk about Just Dial then. And that's the other one which has been seeing some amount of traction. Its underlying is at 489. There is 10% increase in open interest right now. The stock is also advancing by around 3% at this point. And to take a look at how the stock has done over the previous few sessions, at least, while there has been a lot of volatility in the mid-cap space, we've seen Just Dial advance by around 3%, well, in the last 1 month, but in the last 1 week, there has been a little bit of a spike as well. And the real question is, what can we do with this one? Where do we go from here? Because even on the last 7 days, it's actually, been largely flattish, about 1% gains there. Considering the last 3 months movement, it has been consolidating, moving largely sideways within a range of 450 on the lower end and 500 on the higher end. This is, of course, a rough range. In fact, this movement has been since the time of November. So it's clearly in a, locked in a very narrow range. Aditya, what would you do in Just Dial? What variables would you keep a watch out for before we can actually see Just Dial move out of this very narrow range that it has been moving within? And from here on, is there a more likelihood of going higher or lower, or do you think consolidation can continue here?
Well, I think this consolidation will continue for some more time. Means for last couple of months now, stock is trading in a very narrow band, which is 460 and 500, as you mentioned. And on higher side, again, if it breaks 500 also, then 520 will be the next resistance band. And around those levels, we can see some profit within the counter. So as at current levels, again, it's not a good buy, as risk reward ratio is not in favor here. The resistance is very near, which is 500, and above that 520. So if someone wants to take positional play, then I would advise to wait for some time. Let stock come either around 470 levels, there one can buy, or let it break 500, 510 levels convincingly and close above that. Yes, if it breaks 510 levels, then we can see some good movement in the counter. Around 560, 570 will be the target. But at current levels, I won't advise any long or short position in this counter. Let it break this range on either side, then side means trade.
Okay, there are certain themes that I'm observing right now. I think Tech Mahindra is at a fresh 52-week high. So ahead of the buyback meet, there is traction that is happening there. Your auto stocks are falling in trade. Maruti is at the day's lows. Bajaj Auto is falling continuously and moving towards the day's low. So that is there. And the third theme that I'm looking is metals are looking extremely strong. So Vedanta is up 3%, and after Vedanta, counters like Hindalco are following suit. So traction is there in the metal stock. So Gaurav, I'll come to you. Let's talk about autos first. Bajaj Auto days low, Maruti days low, TVS at a 52-week low. What's the view here? Auto stocks, which is the weakest among the pack?
It's going to be TVS Motor, even though it's at the yearly lows. But looking at the chart data, it can slip towards the level of 430, 435. So, and that has been the case once it broke the support area of 500. So now the chances are that any rise in the name on account of short covering can be used to build fresh short position. It can slip further. As far as Bajaj Auto is concerned, we can see a couple of percent fall here and there, but overall it has bounced back from strong monthly support area, long-term chart support area of 2500, 2550. So any dip is going to be used for building fresh longs, but TVS is one that is looking the weakest among the lot.
Okay, I'm going to stick to the auto theme right now, and I'm going to talk about Ashok Leyland. This one has actually now been range bound, and it is moving around the mark of 80 for the last 7 or 8 sessions, if I'm not mistaken. The real question now is that after it's moved into this consolidation phase, where can it go? What can we do? Of course, we all know that Ashok Leyland has fallen quite substantially and declined quite a bit over the last 1 month, down 11% over the last 3 months, and for that matter, from the peaks of 2018. But the real question is, where do we go from here now that it's looking at some amount of consolidation? So, Aditya, do you think that this sideways move around the mark of 80 is likely to continue in the near future? And if at all, anything that in terms of direction?
Well, overall direction for Ashok Leyland is weak. Means stock is after a good rally for last couple of months now. We are seeing correction in its counter, and the stock has already corrected by 50%. But overall structure for stock is quite weak. 80.79 is acting as a very strong support zone, and we are seeing some buying around those levels. But I don't think so that this support is going to sustain for a long time. It means I would advise to go short in the counter if there is any pullback. If stock comes in the zone of 82, 83 around those levels, one can go short with a stop loss of 87. On lower side, 74 to 72 are the levels which I'm expecting that stock may test in the next few trading weeks. So again, means on pullback, one can short sell Ashok Leyland, and one should not look to do bottom fishing at current levels, as we can see another 8 to 10% correction from current levels.
Okay, Tech Mahindra, pull that up. That's at a 52-week high, probably will be at record highs. Aditya, Tech Mahindra, obviously it's the buyback buzz that is propelling the stock higher. But on pure F&O and technical trends, what's your reading?
Well, stock structure is quite positive. We saw good rally in this counter, and after that, for last 1.5 weeks, stock was consolidating in the range, and today's stock has again given a fresh breakout. So overall structure for stock is looking quite positive, and I think stock has the potential to test 855, 860 levels in short term. So with a stop loss of 810 in futures, one can buy with target of 855 to 860.
And on that note, let's take up ITC. I also believe we have a query on ITC. We have Tamil Selvam, who's bought 4 lots of the ITC 275 put. He's paid a premium of 4. What is the target? What can I expect? That's the question. Now, ITC's had an interesting run as far as January is concerned right now, and of course most of Feb, because while it has been giving very sharp movements, it's actually also remained range bound within that very large range around 275. On a fundamental basis, of course, we all know that it is one of the relatively cheaper stocks in your larger FMCG plays. This particular option, the 275 put, is now at 3.5. So Tamil is looking at about 0.5 loss at this point in time. I'm not certain how liquid ITC options are. But Gaurav, let me begin by asking you about your view on ITC, how you are expecting trade to develop on this counter, and then if you can offer to give some advice to the viewer who has bought the 275 put.
Well, if you look at ITC, it's basically stuck in the range. 270 is acting as a strong support, and 282, 283 is acting as a strong deterrent. And I expect further consolidation come in the name, and this is one name that one should be looking for selling the options rather than buying it. So for me, the strategy would be you sell only below, you buy a put, or you sell below 270, not at the current prices. As far as the gentleman is concerned, I would recommend exiting the put options. You might wait till end of day today, but eventually, as long as trading above 270, the chances are it may continue its consolidation manner for next trading sessions.
Okay, Gaurav, it's been a while since the market has opened. Apart from the stocks that we've discussed, anything that you find interesting?
Grasim is one that is looking a tad bit interesting. It's bounced back from crucial support area. Minor longs are seen getting built. One can expect 755, 758. Keep a stops at 738. That is looking interesting.
All right, Aditya, the same question to you. Anything that stands out in the last 1 hour of trade?
Well, in cement sector is still looking positive. Yesterday, in last 2 days, we have seen a good move in India cement, and today again we are seeing some position getting built up in India cement. So I would advise to buy India cement at current levels with a stop loss of 84. On the higher side, I'm expecting 88 to 89 as a target for India cement.
Okay, well, on that note, we're going to wrap this session of the F&O. So I'm going to take a moment to thank both our experts, Gaurav as well as Aditya, for joining us and taking us through their views. Also, of course, addressing some of your queries. For more updates, don't forget to go to our F&O page on BloombergQuint.com, where we have plenty of data for you on the futures and options space. And on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show. On the other side, our special series, BQ Conversations. We have Nirmal Jain talk to us about whether the worst is over or no in Indian NBFCs. So stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.